Visionary leaders are a specific type of leader. They're often the type of leader that will disrupt, innovate, and even at times change the world. Think of people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, or Sheryl Sandberg. A visionary leader can often take a team and move them to a place that they probably couldn't get to on their own. They actually strive to new heights and accomplish new things that an organization could never get to. And it often takes that one person who has a vision for something that nobody else can see. I want to give you an example of what this looked like for Walt Disney. When they were building Epcot, Walt Disney actually had a vision and a passion for what he could see. It's unfortunate that he actually died before Epcot was opened. And I remember this one quote. They actually asked his wife to come up and say a few words, and they introduced her by saying this. They said, "We are so sorry that Walt Disney never saw this." And when she got to the podium, the first thing she said was, "I just want one thing to be clear. Walt Disney saw this before anybody. He envisioned Epcot before anybody could ever see it." In the work that we do, we find that there are three key elements needed for a high momentum organization. Take a look at this screen. The first is effective execution. It's things that are well planned and they're actually accomplished. They're executed and they're delivered on time. The second is credible leaders. Those are people who are viewed as trustworthy and people who actually know what they're talking about. And the third one, and I think the most important one, is a compelling vision. And that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk specifically about what it looks like to set a compelling vision. And truth be told, not everybody has this leadership trait. As a matter of fact, it's a very low part of the population. And so if you're looking at your organization and you're wondering maybe why innovation isn't as strong as it could be, or why you're not achieving something that's beyond what any of you could collectively do together, I would suggest that you look at this character trait and ask yourself, is there somebody on our team who possesses the skills and the leadership character traits of being a visionary leader? Visionary leader characteristics are quantifiable, and they are actually skill sets that you can see and you can lead from. I'd like to suggest that there are three important elements to being a visionary leader. The first one is this, and I know you're going to be like, really? This is the first point? The first point is simply this, that you actually have the skills and the ability to create a compelling vision. A compelling vision is really a preferred future. It's what you hope your organization will become. It's something that's out in the distance that you know you can't do individually, and you know nobody on your team can as well. But collectively together, you can accomplish something that nobody on your team can do individually. So for team performance to be at its peak, the people on your team have to know what they're trying to get to. They have to know what you're trying to aspire to. They have to know what your organization or your nonprofit is actually trying to accomplish. And oftentimes, that's not measured in what happens day in and day out. That's measured by like months and years. Vision is about what could be and should be. Please hear this. People who create vision are thinking about the future. They're thinking about a preferred future. They're thinking about solving a problem. They're thinking about making something more efficient. They're thinking about creating a new and innovative product that nobody else has done. That's the type of visionary leader that organizations need. So taking a vision and making it stick is actually the second key part in whether you are a vision leader or not. It's one thing to have a vision. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of people who have ideas and intentions, but to move an idea or a vision to actually something that people are moving towards is a really unique characteristic within the context of a visionary leader. You've got to have both the ability to create vision and the ability to make a vision actually stick, to make it feel like people can live into it, that they can actually achieve something that together will make sense for them. In 2020, we had this idea as a team of creating something called the Emerging Leaders Initiative. And that next year, we actually executed. And what's interesting is a lot of people came up to me and were like, man, this is so exciting. We've got a great cohort. They've learned so much. They loved it. As a matter of fact, when we did the evaluation, we actually had to go back and ask them if they could just give us some critique because they loved it so much. And when people were like, man, this is great, isn't it awesome? My first words to them were, you can create anything for 1 year. But in order for something to actually stick, it actually has to be sustainable. So I was more interested in what year 2, 3, and 4 would look like than actually year 1. It's one thing to have a vision. It's another to make it stick. For us, this program, our Emerging Leaders Initiative, was that. We actually knew after the second year and into the third year that we had something that was going to last. And here's the third and final one. You actually are a person who now mobilizes people to the vision. It doesn't mean that you do it. It actually means that you're delegating those responsibilities because your primary focus is on where you're headed. It's your preferred future. People who don't get this often get stuck in having to do it. They're not good at delegating. They're not good at taking a part of the project and actually handing it off to one of their teammates and saying, no, you run with this because this is an area that you're better at. This is an area that you're more skilled at. So let me review these 3 character traits of a vision leader. The first is you can actually create a vision. You actually have a vision for something. You've been uniquely wired in such a way where you're often thinking about a preferred future. It's where your organization is headed. It's about new innovation. It's about doing something different. The second is you have the ability to make vision stick, where people are actually excited and passionate about what you're suggesting and about the future you're headed to. And here's the third one, and it might sound a bit operational, it's actually not. Oftentimes, visionaries who get stuck in this third part think that they now need to go and actually do it. The third part is you mobilize the people around you. You look at the people on your team and you say, who on my team can do this segment the best? And you give it to them. Who can do this segment the best? And you give it to them. Visionary leadership is unique. It's actually not for most people, but for teams to be successful, for teams to innovate, for teams to kind of like shake something and actually do something different, it's going to take somebody who has those 3 character traits of vision leadership. Thanks for watching, and we would love to talk to you about that.